Peace, 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 people. First off, I would like to thank all my new subscribers. There's been quite a bit that I've gotten, and I really appreciate everybody. My name is For Black Righteous Folks Home, short for Black. Please like the video. Please subscribe to my channel and share video. I was going to do a totally different live. I was going to talk about why we are really at a disadvantage right now pertaining to our survival in America, how things are stacking up against us. I might come back to another video later today or tomorrow. I'll save it because I've seen Go Black to Africa and his title of the video caught my attention. And I want to do a response. I haven't heard the video yet, but it says, why Africa is a curse to African Americans and diaspora. So that really got my attention. And since it's not such a long video, I want to do a reaction to this video. He is always babbling about Africa. Now he's in Singapore. Just landed, I guess. He's spending time in Asia, and now he's bigging up Asia, and he's crapping on Africa for not being up to par, which is true. Africa could do a lot of different things. They refuse to do anything different among themselves. So what do you expect? And plus, most people that is about anything is trying to leave Africa for the most part. But there's a lot of people there anyways, a whole host of people that are not being utilized to build Africa, which I find fascinating that nobody ever talks about. All those people, 1.34 billion, and people don't value their value. I mean, they have a lot of human power. They have a lot of humanness to work and do whatever. And they're not utilizing it correct, based on colonization and globalization. And globalization is really entrenched in Africa, in my opinion. And there's nothing that we can do or anyone else can do about it. So all these falsehoods that Pan-Africans push and peddle, such as Go Black, now he's trying to have a different attitude with the title, I'm assuming, saying that it's cursed for so-called African Americans. So let's listen to what he had to say. I think it's going to be a very interesting video because saying curse is very strong language. Very, very strong language.
Not your boy, GOBLACK2AFRICA. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you as y'all come in. I am sitting right here in Singapore. That's right here in the middle of a mall. That it is right now about 10:30 at night, I assume. I had to go knock out my walks, you know what I'm saying? I decided I want to go ahead and just walk around and, put out a little energy so that I can kind of keep myself a little bit there in control of the weight that I know I don't want to lose later on. I want to do this topic here because, I've been coming into Africa for about 7 years. That doesn't count when I was born in Libya. But there's many things I don't know in life. Yet there's a lot of things that I do know in life. One of those things I do understand is that your spiritual being, your mindset, your thought, your how you exude yourself, how do you carry yourself, your behavior has everything to do with your outcome. I know this is not going to be popular with many people, this type of topic, because we are tough people, don't like really to hear we might be standing in an era or cursing our own life. I have watched in these past 7 years being here in Africa, interviewed hundreds of people, talked to thousands of people, and I'm finding out they're cursing their own life. I have watched people die in Africa who I personally knew. I have watched people get divorced in their marriages who I personally knew. I have watched people grow sick. I have watched people lose their minds. I have watched people get scammed. I have watched people be taken advantage of. And I'm telling you all, for those who have an ear, let them hear. I'm telling you all. I'm thankful. I'm very thankful.
Could you just get on with it? Please like the video. This is unusual, but we'll see.
When I got caught in a headlock by the Most High, who had to sit me down and shut up. That's why I do a lot of talking now. There was years I could not say anything. When I say nothing, not that I couldn't talk, but I could not put out what was being brought into me, what was being shown to me, because it was for me. It was for my development. It was for my teaching. It was for my being built up from a place to where I was really down. And in my observation of life, observing other people as well as my life, y'all, I'm telling y'all, we curse our own selves. I'm right here in Singapore. They got nothing but Indian in India, shrines, Buddha temples, Muslim mosques, all around here. Everybody gets along with everybody. But what's so funny is that we've taken terms from different modalities of religions, and we use words like karma, we use words like payback, or we use terms and things like spiritual, and we use things like vibrations and energy. We use all these cliche words and don't even have a clue at times what we're really talking about. I've watched the failures of our brothers and sisters coming into Africa because they brought over dead spirits. I was reading in the scrolls, the ancient writings, the scriptures. Y'all call it a Bible, but it's shown me there's a call for many people to flee from wickedness. Not just
here we go. So now he's trying to set himself up to be so-called like a prophet. He's been inching and inching to being like that, and he's acting like that right now. Speaking from the Bible again, and people always trying to use the Bible to give them some credibility. I'm not buying his act. So he's trying to get an exodus going in our mindset about leaving and going somewhere. Is he going to tell us to go to Asia now? Because he's there. Let's listen.
Your environment, or what's within your inner circle, but also what is within you. The scriptures is very easy and simple to understand. Believe that there is this creator that exists and lean on it and have faith in it. Trust in it, not in man. And the spirit shall guide you into righteousness. Now, I'm not trying to sit here and do a sermon and preach to anybody. What I'm going to do is, because I have a lot of people who reach out to me, who share with me about what I be saying, they kind of like, they agree with it. Whether they're elderly people that are in their 70s and 80s, thanks and shout out to my elders out here, as well as it's the youth who say, man, there's people, man, who's not even saying, really hearing people saying some of the things I be saying. That's not to brag on me, not by far. What I'm saying is that I have a lot to share with people to try to help and bring people out of their own curse. I've watched them come into Africa.
Wow. So now he wants to be like a messiah to y'all, prophet to y'all. He can lead y'all to the destination, to the paradise, to the happy landing. He got all the answers for y'all. What in the world is going on? Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat room. I'm sorry, I got to break him up a little bit. DJ Uni says we are all Asiatic and he is learning the truth. Africa is not the motherland. Asia is the motherland. The truth can never be hidden. Okay. Luella, thank you for coming through. I'm okay. Listening to Go Black for the first time in a while about his notion about feeling like he can lead people to understanding and success in Africa when he knows all the different things that have befallen many people financially or lifelike, like they're unalived, sickly. He knows of scams that have happened. He knows a lot because people email him a lot and they tell all their business to him. So he has all this information about what has happened to a lot of people personally and through email. So I can imagine that bringing about another type of thinking, but to claim that now you'll be able to lead a mass of people to an understanding of a new way of thinking, ideology, or talking the spiritual talk. We got enough of these religious fanatics. We got enough of these wannabe spiritual teachers or preachers or prophets. They're coming out the woodworks. He's been trying to lean on this idea for a while. Now he's trying to inch a little bit closer to talking like that. Let's listen. Let me see what else you're saying. Sorry about that. Bought over exactly. We are all Asian, you think? That guy is a pompous joke. He and his religious nonsense make my skin crawl. The only true African are the Afrikaners. Okay, that's the first I ever heard that before.
And when I was sitting today, when I heard, and I really went through my memory bank, and I thought about those people who died. I thought about those who've been scammed. I thought about those who lost their marriages. I thought about those who had dysfunctions and hard ways to go. I found they weren't even following the Most High. I found that they brought over a lot of evil spirits or old schools of thoughts and belief systems that came and disrupted their own journey. I watched a video today, 2 videos today. That sister, she popped up on my feed, Kendra G. I guess she's like a Kevin Samuels, whatever. Now, if my memory serves me correctly, I think that I saw her video before, maybe a couple of years ago. I'm getting my walk on, y'all. So, hey, stay with me on this right here. I'm all the way in Singapore, and I'm dropping some gold nuggets from on high that hopefully somebody can grab a hold of this. That stop cursing yourself. Stop cursing your children. You know, this Kendra G, I think that's the name of her channel or whatever. She was interviewing. She interviews guys and women. And I, of course, listen to the women when she's interviewing. These are the ones who are looking for that man. And 2 women who sat there and put out that there's just no good men out here. This is out of their own mouth. There's no good men out here. They're looking for a man who's honest. This is what they said. And come to find out that when she asked the question, when's the last time you were intimate with somebody? One woman said, it was, and she gave the date, and she said, oh, I decided to get myself involved with another woman. But I like men. But it was something that had happened and encountered, and but I'm still all into the men. And I'm like, what? The other woman who claims she's looking for a man and there's men is always trying to rush to get her into the bed and all that right there, her ex-husband came on one of the shows, and I know it sounds like one of these reality shows, but this is just real because he came on and disclosed the lies she told, but come to find out, she sent a video to him of her having a threesome with a woman going down on her. And this is the very same woman. This ain't about women. This is about what I'm about to talk about, the character of how we curse ourselves. This is the same women who were talking about men and wanting to look for the right man. How can you look for the right man and want integrity when you lack it yourself? How do we expect success when we're failing?
That's true, but he's mixing up excuse me. He's mixing up the conversation. We're talking about Africa and why it's cursed for us, and he's going on a tangent talking about morality. Of course, morality needs to be adjusted. People need to correct themselves. This is one of the things that I wanted to talk about on the upcoming show about lack of integrity, morality, having a stance of a mindset that is necessary for survival. I think that we have a lot of obstacles that are set before us right now more than ever. And it is rigged like that. But he's not talking about Africa no more. He's always going all over the place. Try to rope us in about we ain't right. He's trying to clump up this idea that we all are like this. You found a couple of ratchets on a show that always appear on Kendra G platform. Nothing new. Again, I really don't know where this is going, but I hope he's going to get back on track with the conversation that he had. Let me see what you're saying. DJ Una, you're saying a lot. You said research it about the Africans only being the Afrikaners. Africa was named between 1945 and 1960. It is all new, you say. We have been lied to. The African are Dutch settlers. I got that part. They're Dutch. Peep game. Many of the tribes came from out of Asia. Okay, that's interesting. Mine, I think I've never heard that before, but that's interesting. Thanks for sharing. But I don't know where this is going. Let's see if he's going to get back on track.
Within ourselves with the Most High. I got to tell people this because my thing is that we're cursing ourselves. Now, what does coming into Africa have anything to do with you cursing yourself? I'm going to tell you why. And it's very important. It's not by chance, coincidence, or accident. How many levels does this place have? I keep going down these escalators. It's not by chance, coincidence, or accident that we can leave a land, leave a situation, leave a relationship, leave a job, leave different situations and things in life, and wonder why when we get to the new place, it's probably worse than where we were before. How does that happen? It's because you are the usher of those spirits that you've taken along that caused havoc in your life.
It could just be merely the environment, merely the culture. It cannot always fall on the victims to be the reasonings behind why they have failed. Maybe 50% of that was their fault by not managing properly, maybe not understanding the culture properly, and then circumstantial, just by coincidence of environment. So what is he talking about? I mean, he's carving out a whole storyline that has nothing to do with the reality on the ground as far as what can happen when you are involved over there at another country or another continent. You're bound to have circumstances come up that you had no awareness of. When you get scammed, the people that scammed you knew they were going to scam you. You didn't know. You didn't know. And you found out. Then you found out you lost your money. Sometimes you lose your mind. Sometimes you can rebuild, but you have to spend more money. And then sometimes you can be in a bind with budgets and other things that happen that come up. Sickness. Someone died. A lot of things that can happen. So it's not always on the person to be considered the problem. And this is what he's trying to point out and say that they're the problem. That's not, I don't think that's right.
We are going to have to get to a place to be honest. You know, I had the conversation with my wife, and hopefully, you know, I'm going to do a video with her. You know, she's a little camera, you know, shy and really don't like to be in front of the camera. But we really, me and my wife, we are friends. We're buddies. I mean, we are married, and, you know, We have some really good conversations. I hit my wife with a question, and I said, I brought up these two women, and she listened to what both had to say. And I told her this right here. I said, what does honesty mean? Because apparently, you know, when you got one woman who lies, and lied, the first three questions came out of her mouth. The woman asked, this is a system we live in. This is why people got to get out of the environment that they're in, out of Babylon, if you call it that, out of the belly of the beast, out of America, or damn Erica, I like to call it, because the spirit is spreading and it's overtaking our people. It's overtaking our children. The mess it's infiltrating many people's beings. This spirit is real, and many people act like it's not. But this young lady sit there and lied, and then when she calls back in after her ex calls to reveal her lies, she can't even admit that she was lying. The questions that was asked to her was that, when did you get divorced? Because the woman who has the channel says you got to be divorced in order to come on a show. And the woman told her that she was divorced and got divorced last June. The ex calls in and discloses the lie that says we're not divorced yet. The woman asked her about how many kids she had, and the woman said 2. Come to find out she got 3. And then it's like, okay. Then she has this where she's like, okay, Kendra's cam or something, where the woman or I guess the guy or whatever got to stand up in front of the camera because she's trying to hook people up on this dating thing. And the woman gets up there and shows her body, and so then she was like, yeah, you know, this is all natural, this and that. People don't believe it, blah, 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 blah. Well, come to find out her ex says she had a surgery in Dominican Republic. That's where they met. Now, the woman was denying, but could not admit the fact she lied. This is the spirit that we see today, that we can lie to ourselves as though that we don't need help.
Again, people are painting a narrative that we're all walking around just the most dishonest, moral people or lack of morals all over the place. I don't know where he's going. Hey, what's up, Miss D? How you doing? Thank you for coming through. This is an unexpected video. It's supposed to be about why Africa is a curse to African Americans in the diaspora, but he is off on a tangent talking about Kendra G and one of the guests that was on there lying, which I don't see the correlation at all, but he's on this talking about Kendra G guests.
We're going to grow up and really do a self-assessment, truly, in order for us to tear down the curses that are killing us. Not just killing us spiritually, because many of you all don't understand that the spirit is alive and well. But when your spirit ain't well, everything you touch is a headache. It's a struggle. It withers. It never gets anywhere. And you always stay at even keel. How is that? The only thing people want to be successful is money. They don't want to be successful in themselves in honesty, integrity, standing upright, being a person of your word, having a little dignity and self-esteem about oneself. Where has it all gone? It's gone out into the garbage. And then we wonder why we suffer. So these people who's coming to Africa, people who's coming into the Africa, and I'm going to tell you this right here because there is a call. Many people think it's all just a lie. Oh, he's talking about this so-called creator and, you know, the call for those to flee from out of the place of wickedness. He's lost his mind and all that right there. Okay, you can say I lost my mind. You can say that.
The same man that has his foot always in America. He has a house. He has a wife that works as a doctor in America. He travels wherever he wants to go because he's retired. And he's an ex-military guy who gets a pension or whatever you call it that they get, military pay every month. He cannot equate what his lifestyle is all about to any of our lifestyles. He is on a whole nother plane of protection. And he's never going to give up that protection of America to forego and go to Africa and stay put there. He's not going to stay put there.
Okay, I'll even say, okay, I lost my mind. But you can't take away the fact that when you see that people who's come into Africa who claims they were sent by the Most High, and these people are dropping off like flies, there's got to be something to that. Because the ones that I do know who...
Well, it basically means we ain't supposed to be going to Africa. That's what it means. Duh. All that means is that we need not go to Africa. I don't know why he is skipping that part. I don't know why he's skipping that part. Why everybody skips that part. We don't need to be going to Africa. And you have options to go other places or go to Canada, go to the Asia, or stay in America, travel to another state. It's a lot of other options. But you don't need to go to Africa.
Walking faithfully. Now, I don't know what goes on in any man's house. I do not know that. So you're absolutely right. I know what y'all saying. You don't know what goes on in any man's house. I know that. But I do have a thing that's called discerning of spirits. And that are those who are having a conscious effort into walking upright in the Most High. I see a total different result in them than those who come in with other agendas or backgrounds, beliefs and perceptions and views. And I'm seeing this whole thing unfold. And I'm giving the warning. I'm giving the warning. Africa's a death sentence for some. Now, people could die.
Duh. I've been saying that. He said a death warning for some. And that's exactly what I mean. Doomsday for y'all. So many people are not going to be successful in Africa for one reason or another. That's just the way that it is. This notion of a paradise, this notion that this is what we need to be doing to go to Africa is it's not the biz. It's not none of that. It's not cool. It's not cool to even speculate like that. It's not an option to me. But he's going to twist it. Even after knowing that most people have difficult times in Africa eventually. Like, first off, it doesn't start off that way. But then sometimes it can with a scam or it can with an illness. It just depends. It just depends on how it goes. You won't know. So what is he about to say? Let's see.
Right in their tracks when it comes to being in America, of course. But let me explain something to you. You know, you could smoke cigarettes. This is coming from Adam, for the Most High. This just hit me. You could smoke cigarettes and smoke cigarettes.
This just came from the Most High. Come on. Wow. This just came from the Most High. Again, he's trying to inch his way. He's trying to act like he's a teacher or a prophet. He's trying to act like he's been sent. This man is on one.
Smoke cigarettes, right? And it appears that it's not even doing you any harm. And you've gone on for years. And all of a sudden, you decide you're going to stop smoking cigarettes. And then all of a sudden, when you stop smoking cigarettes, you become sick. Where are you going with that, Go Black? Think about it. If you're sick in the mind and you think, or spiritual, if you're sick in your spirit and you think you can come to Africa and it's going to change your marriage, it's going to change who you are, and you think you're only that the area, the space, the place is going to change you, instead of you seeking the Most High for the change, you become sick. or other words, remove yourself from a toxic situation, but the toxicity was already in place. That when you left to go to another place, you got sicker. Now, some people are going to say, well, hold up, I don't get what you're saying right there. Well, it's in Scripture. Think about this right here. Scripture scrolls, ancient writings say this right here. There was a guy. There was a man who had demons. And he cried unto the Lord, and the Lord removed the demons. The demons went out, right? And it was said to him, don't go sin no more. Sin no more. So the man, he wanders about, and it says that his house was clean. But he went back to, or I ain't gonna say went back to. The demons came back and found that it was an empty house. In other words, there was no change. That it still was conducive for a spirit to dwell within you and house itself. But it says that that demon brought back 7 more. What does that mean, 7 more? You see, when we talk about spirits and all that right there, you know, some people get like, oh God, it's just all this crap stuff, this and that. Think about it. If you smoke cigarettes, drink alcohol, use drugs, have a bad, nasty disposition and character, if you're a backbiter, if you're out here just laying with anyone, how many things out of each one of those that I named, just one of them, just take one or whatever, does it bring on more than one issue? When you like to be out on the streets sleeping with a lot of women or men, right? What are some things that can happen to you? Well, it depends on who you are, male or female, right? Let's just say you're a female. We know you can catch diseases. You can have a baby. You can have a spiritual tie, meaning that, as they say, the body count, but yet have connected with that person that you had laid with and brought on very different spirits that will ride with you.
And there's a spirit on him too. His spirit is confused on who he is right now. He wants to be so much more to us, but it's not going to work out. Go black to Africa. You need to cut it out. You're not going to mean more than what you are supposing yourself to mean. I don't get it. I don't get what he's trying to, where he's trying to go. I don't get what he's talking on. He sounds like a nutty bar. The Rock says, for black, this dude has mental issues and likes the sound of his mouth. Apparently so. Because right now he's not making no sense to me. He is really all over the place.
You can clean them out. This is why many people can't get rid of old love affairs. Because it becomes it's called a familiar spirit that attaches itself to you. Many spirits can attach itself to you. So in other words, we sit back and we curse ourselves by the acts that we do, and thinking that we can rid it by removing ourselves into different atmospheres and different relationships. And all you did was carry that same mess over into another relationship, another job, another place, another environment, and all that. You know, I was telling a young man who was trying to get away from drugs.
He's basically trying to say that there's nothing wrong with Africa. There's something wrong with you. If you supposedly have battles that you have not settled or cleared out, past relationships and other situations that's going on, you're going to have that type of spirit that lingers. I mean, you're going to have whatever's going on with you wherever you go. Doesn't matter about Africa, but Africa still, or any place that you go, is still going to be the environment that it is. It's going to be whatever is going on there as is. So we're not going to be able to change nothing in Africa. Africa is Africa. So I believe most of us can't cope with the cultures. I don't think the culture is doable, in my opinion. Let's listen to this.
And how he should just, go the proper way of getting rid of drugs. And he thinks that going into a different place will be best for him. And I said, that's an important step. But that right there is not what's going to keep you from using drugs. It's you. Because guess what? When you go to a new place, and I've seen people do it over and over again, just like myself when I used to have an issue drinking alcohol, when I got stationed into another place, what did I do? I found the people who drink and hang out at bars and clubs. And what did that do? It brought the same spirits in my life. And I found that those people that I drew to who did such a thing, they weren't achieving what it was that I found out later I should be achieving. It wasn't until I changed out my mindset, the people I hung around, the things I was doing, stop the drinking.
He's just babbling and babbling. What the F you said he's talking about? He's talking from America. He's an African tourist. He needs to stop babbling, Miss D says. Most certainly. You leave and you take you with you, not crazy talk either. Yeah, but he's acting like he's a wannabe teacher or prophet right here in this video. He's acting like God ordained him to be credited to tell us something about ourselves and to tell us where we're supposed to do to correct what's going on in Africa because of all the things that he's heard of. He can't fix those things. You can't fix sickness, death, scams, homelessness, or missing, or whatever happens. He can't get ahead of most things because the environment is such. But he's talking as if something about him now is transforming him into something that we ought to appreciate better.
Put that down. Now what are you going to put a new spirit towards? But we don't realize we curse ourselves. We're cursing our lives. And we think that it's okay to go tell a lie. Okay, you think, they call it the little white lie, right? Because everything white, they say, is supposed to be pure and innocent. But see, you tell the little white lie, and then what happens? Just like what I was telling you about that young lady. You can turn around and lie that you're divorced. You can turn around and lie and say you only have 2 kids. You can turn around and lie and say all these other things. And yet when you're confronted with the lies, you get mad and upset and act like the person's the problem who you lied to, who's disclosing to you were not forthcoming and right. So now you're delusional. Because now you can't even see the difference between right or wrong. But everybody wants to be successful. They want to be successful in their jobs. They want to be successful in their marriages. They want to be successful in their relationship. They want to be successful in everything, but yet...
I'm sorry for abusing y'all. I'm so sorry. I'm going to give y'all a break just because you said... But the key question is, who do you think you are? Because identity is important. Ray L. Sky. I don't know. I think he thinks he's a prophet, a Hebrew Israelite prophet. I don't know. You said African countries are joining BRICS union with Russia and China and they're thriving now. I hope you're right because I don't see the thrive yet, Igor. And when we talking about the undiagnosed mother effers with these channels, okay. If you love Africa so much, why don't you live there? I don't love Africa. Are you talking about him? Exactly. He was born in Libya. He was a military dude. He's retired. His wife is a doctor. It's not too hard for him to move up over there, but he's taking his sweet little time. All he's trying to do is get businesses and stuff. I haven't seen anything about him remotely trying to act like he's trying to build over there to move. But he's preaching this talk about us brazenly going over there. taking a chance and jumping into a shark-infested water. That's what people think that we're supposed to do all the time. And it's annoying as hell. It's annoying. It's annoying.
They're not successful within themselves with the Most High. Now, I know some of y'all are saying, they'll go black, you know, you're talking about this Most High and all that right there, and I hear all that. Look, let me tell y'all something right here. There is no Most High out here like they have made it out to be. Sitting up there, cursing you with your life. No, not at all. The curse was written before we even entered come out of the womb into the world. In other words, when you create something.
My bad, not Libya. Liberia is where I think he said he was born. Not Libya. I made the mistake. My bad. But Libya was very rich country before U.S. decided to illegally invade and destroy the country. Yeah, I heard. God bless Trump. Yes, bless somebody. That's going to help us out of this situation. That's for sure. Yeah, that's for sure.
To be perfect and good. Anything that falls out of line of it must be dealt with or must suffer the consequences. You can't just expect that the universe was created and there is no universal laws that are within it. You can see, you can lie to yourself and you can act like you get over on a man. See, you can go ahead and cheat, steal, rob, kill, and nobody will know it. But the universe knows it because it was created with laws. And what does it do? You talk to any person who murdered and they got away and years later they got caught. They'll tell you how their life was in misery. They could never sleep, looking over their shoulder, wondering somebody would see them, find them. Nightmares, turn to drugs, alcohol. You see, the universe has order. It already has it. Let's get away from this human being that they've made, that the creator's going to be, and let's look at the universe in its creativity by the being or the power or the source or the energy or whatever you want to say that created this universe has law.
This is true Babble. I knew it. I knew it when I called it. I knew it was going to be straight up Babble. What is he talking about, y'all? Yo.
This is why I am very careful in my actions that I do. This is why I told my wife, I said, you know, I travel the world. Me and my wife come together after 3 months, and then, you know, she goes back to her job, and she enjoys what she does and her practice and, you know, being a physician and all that. And I'm like, you know, people's like, man, you know, how, because brothers want to know, man, are you really abstain from sex with your wife? You don't cheat on your wife? I'm like, no. Because I love the Most High greater than my wife. I am accountable to the Most High. The Most High
is my judge. So now he's pleading and trying to put it out there that he's being loyal to his wife. I don't know what is he on, but he is on something. And he's trying to paint himself as being really, really righteous and just and ordained again in our minds, that he is here to tell us and show us the way. Look at him. It's crazy.
I already know if I do such an act. Look, I have an example of my dad. When he did it to my mom, he lost everything. His health, everything. Boom. I'm talking, that man went unemployed. He was on the streets when he left us. I'm like, and I was 17 or 16 years old when that happened. And I told myself I could never do such an act to my children or to my wife. I wasn't at that place of understanding. the consequences that happen within these universal laws that we cannot see, figure out, or understand unless you study and understanding the actions that you be. When you become in alignment with the universe, those laws actually bless you. This is where your ideas, your creativity, this is where...
Oh, God. So now is he replacing Nature Boy? Damn. What is going on here? He's talking about Black people need to rely on themselves and be accountable for their actions. Well, that, you could just say that. He's going around in a circle talking crazy, switching it up, moving it out, up and over. I'm just, why is he performing like he is really that man now? A lot of people are really impressed by this man. I'm not impressed by him. I don't see what it is. But again, he babbles and babbles and babbles.
Or your woes and your worries go aside. This is where you begin to find the peace. Because now you understand you don't get caught up into a world's way of living or thinking, but you go beyond that. You become more connected with the universe. You begin to respect and love that which was created, not the wickedness of the world. Because that's what anything you see man-made and the ways of man and TVs and music and all that, that is the world's. That's the world's. But we talk about the earth. We talk about the universe. We talk about stars, the moon, the sun, the animals and insects and everything. That was made perfect. And that is for us. But yet, our brothers and sisters, we don't understand that our actions are killing us. And I'm watching it unfold time and time again. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this lightly. I ain't claim to be any title on my freaking name. I don't claim to be some religious guru or prophet, or I don't even...
I can't tell. I cannot tell, bro. All this babble, talk about the moon and the universe and the animals and God and all that type of talk, you could have spared us of that and just told us what it is that you want to say instead of going around in circles and all over the place. So what are you trying to be, Mr. Go Black? What are you going to profess yourself to be?
Try to give myself those. What I will share is the knowledge that I have gained. And the knowledge that I have gained, I'm telling you all, many are going to suffer until they get their act together. And you can keep doing what you want to do. And as you begin to even fall further in a spiral, just like those two women who claim they're looking for the good man, but yet they slept with two women and can come out and without even shame and say, oh, I just did such an act, and I mean, but I'm all for the men and I'm not that. And don't realize that they have attached a spirit that will walk that spirit will walk with them to the day they die. I'm telling you all what I had to walk through in my life and study and observe and see and hear, that this is our problem. And many of you all can attest to the fact that when you continue in your own folly, your own ignorance, you get those results back. It is not until one can at least repent. And repent means nothing but one who can recognize the errors of their way and then get back on the right track, walking towards.
So he's not going to tell us that he is some type of guru or leader or teacher or prophet, but yet he's still acting as if he's one. So I just think he's full of it. I think he's full of himself. I think that he's been sent. I've always thought that he was an agent. I feel like he's not fooling nobody, But if he really was about this Africa, he would be in Africa for good. His wife would stop doing what she's doing and go to Africa with him because he's retired. But she wants to lead her life in America, but he's preaching to all of the rest of us about Africa while not staying in Africa. I'm so tired of these types of people. They're all over the place, stirring the pot and keeping shit going. And then turn around talking about he ain't no guru or teacher, but yet he's talking as if he is. Fuck out of here.
Or walking in perfection. Let me say this right to many people. These people, they want to talk about, you're not perfect, you're not perfect. I'm perfect in Christ. Christ, the Spirit.
Oh, he's perfect in Christ, right? This is what I'm talking about. He has put himself on some type of level of thinking that he is somebody important. He is perfect in Christ. No, you're not. I can't tell. You all over the place. You're scatterbrained. You're a flip-flopper. What are you talking about?
The Most High. I am perfect in that. People are afraid to say that they're perfect. Don't let the world tell you you're not perfect. I'm perfect. I'm perfect in the spirit. In this flesh, no. I've sinned. I've done.
Even the camera stopped when he had said that bullshit. Ain't that something, y'all?
Horrible things. I used to be all the wicked, evil things that one could say. But while I'm walking in the spirit, I'm perfect. And you know what? I'm continually going to walk into perfection. We dumb it down. That's why we can never get over the hump, because we dumb it down like, oh, well, you know, I mean, I'm not trying to act like I'm not perfect, or oh, no, who's perfect? Yes, everybody has sinned. Everybody has made mistakes. But we're talking about when you have the Spirit in you, you can walk in perfection now. And stop killing your future, your children, your legacy. Stop.
Wow. Stop killing and wow.
Killing your. We do more destructive behaviors to ourselves than anybody else on the world. For real, for real. We really do. We destroy ourselves because we live a life of a lie. Now, I know this is hard for some people to chew on, but why not? Why can't we, to include myself, look up at, oh, 1 second, I gotta look at these signs here. I should be showing you. Let me turn the screen right here so y'all can see some of this mall. I know y'all looking behind me, but we should be able to at least do a righteous assessment. A righteous assessment. A righteous assessment means being open, naked, transparent to oneself, and dig in your closet and find the flaws. Who can do that? How many people are even willing to do that? Who can say, I'm jacked up, man, I'm messed up, I don't know what the hell I'm doing? How many people can admit I need help instead of going along with the old lie? I'm a good person. I don't hurt nobody.
Again, the title of this video so far, he has not really gone in other than saying that we as a people need to get our shit together and correct ourselves, as if, you know, we don't know that part. But the title of this video, though, Easy Acts, is Why Africa is a Curse to African Americans in Diaspora. That's the title. And he just keeps on this morality tip, trying to act like he's some type of teacher, some holier than thou prophet, someone that's supposed to that's been sent, although he's claiming he's not none of those things. But how is he acting right here?
I don't do anything wrong. When are we going to realize that as soon as we admit our wrongdoings, healing comes? Healing comes. You see, I know many of us have been hurt, not just by ourselves.
So this is supposed to be the way to excuse away all the different things that he's heard pertaining to Africa and how the terrible outcomes ended up happening to the people that told him about their circumstance. It's supposed to be cleaning up this from thinking about that. It's all on you to get yourself together so when you go to Africa or other places, things won't befall you. You could be a good person and still have things befall you. You could still be a loving person. You could still be a God-fearing person. You can be a number of any person, and things can and will befall you. If you're at the right place at the right time for the different things to happen, it's going to happen. So his notion of telling us that if we're the spirit of perfection, things won't touch us, like we'll be protected by God's grace. That's if God allows that. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. It's just the luck of the draw. And he's making it seem like he got a formula for you to be able to be perfect in all ways and things and situations. And that's just not true. He's a false wannabe prophet. That's what he wants to be. That's what he longs to be, even though he's not calling himself one. He's acting like he is one. He needs to get up off of that.
But even by others, I know that. And we got to forgive and go forward. I didn't say forget. There's a difference between forgive and forget. We got to be able to forgive. Why? Because why am I going to hold a person who did me wrong when I'm wrong? When I understand this wicked world. This is why it's said that to fear the Lord is to hate evil. That's what fear the Lord means, is to hate evil. Because it's the Lord who hates the wicked evil of what it has.
Oh, my life. Ooh. Man, the babbling is strong, y'all. I hope that you guys are understanding that this man is on one. I don't even know what this is. GOPH. Easy access. I don't understand this guy. He's all over the place. Panties are scattered brain. Yes, they are. Yes, I'll be coming hard at them. Don't you know? The panties.
Found in this earth. Oh, look over here. This is their little, I don't know, little games. This over. I'm in Singapore for those who's come in. You know, these little coin games they got. That's the noise y'all hearing in the background. In Singapore. I guess the Asians love.
How can you just be somewhere and it's totally vacant? He's not having a good time in Singapore, so he's taking out his frustrations on us. Ain't nothing popping off where he's at. He's just babbling.
Games or these bears, these little bears or whatever, because they're everywhere in here. Look at this right here. Let me start showing y'all some of these signs around here in Singapore. They said crime is little to almost nil in Singapore. Lift right here is a hotel.
So he's lifting up Singapore. He's trying to do a cleanup job for Africa. Wow. This is very interesting. I would like to see a person, though. I would like to see him talk to somebody and see the interaction. Like, this has not happened yet. So this is kind of very lame right now. I hope somebody comes by and says something.
In this mall, they have a fitness center. You can see some of the bikes in here and workout stuff. What is this? 5, 6 levels here in this mall, and I'm on the 4th floor, but they got basement floors too, B1s and B2s. Let me get back to my talks, but I just want to give y'all what I love about just traveling the world is get to see all the different ways of how people live. Over here in the Asian world, I mean, with Malaysia, me and my wife left Malaysia. Now we're over here in Singapore. Man, very innovative. They got stuff over here. You see technology and stuff that you like. We don't even got that over there in daggone America. I'm gonna tell you, I gotta do a video on that, man. When they talk about, America's the greatest country in the world, I need somebody to define that. I really do. Define it. In what way is the greatest country in the world? What does that mean? What do they mean by that? But anyway, yeah, this mall is closed right now. They close. One thing they close early in Asia. It's Sunday. Even yesterday, they closed the malls at 9:30 to 10 o'clock. 9:30 to 10 o'clock. Most restaurants are over and done with.
Yeah, I seen his wife. She's really skinny and fair looking. Nothing really spectacular about her. She's just an average looking, skinnier woman that I saw once. You said, yes, it's closed. Easy X. So, and even panties, I like to say Pan-Africans means panties for those that don't know what that means, because saying it by itself does sound kind of weird. Are not on the same page. They disagree all the time with each other, but they always seem to badmouth Americans. That's all they have time to do. So we got to get ridiculed each and every time from these types of people that want us to feel like we are obligated to do something about Africa. And again, it's a curse for a reason. The title is fitting, except for the African American name. It should be Black Americans. Why Africa is a curse to Black Americans in diaspora. It's not ready. It's too lawless. That's the truth in a lot of different situations. So it's a matter of time for Black Americans to get consumed up into the pool of nothingness and have all the problems that Go Black to Africa was talking about. He was identifying the problems, and instead of identifying those problems and staying on the topic, he turned it around and be like, it's y'all. Y'all spirit is wicked. You guys are liars. You're this, you're that. You got to get your shit together. What are you doing to change? Have you looked in the mirror yet? Like, what? What? And now you want to be a prophet too, a teacher wannabe? What are you talking about? And giving his opinion very negative about this man living his life. Okay, he can live his life, but he can't tell us what to do in our life. That's the thing. If he wants to live his life, he should live his life, but don't tell us how to live our life. You can't then turn around and tell us how to live our life. Isn't that fair, high vibrational spirit? He should do the same thing that he wants and expect us to do for him, which is let him lead his life. Let us lead our lives. If we don't desire to go to Africa, there should not always be this continual conversation about Africa all the waking moment of the day. It seems to be continuously. And he seems to think he's some type of prophet wannabe to lead us to the so-called promised land of Africa, which is not our promised land. It's not.
10 o'clock. So they call it a day real early. But anyway, I hope people are understanding what I'm saying.
No.
That our curse cursing our lives. You know, people coming into Africa thinking that they're going to have a new start when they haven't started anew with the Most High, or start within themselves. And that curse follows them over. And I've seen it time and time again of people who have lost their lives, lost their marriages, lost their money, being taken advantage of, being used, all because of they curse themselves. I did a video about, you don't get scammed, you scam yourself. You don't get taken advantage of. You take advantage of yourself. And it's all predicated upon you as the one who is seeking whatever you're seeking for whatever reason. Now, McDonald's is open, y'all. McDonald's is open. Let's go check out some stuff over here at McDonald's. Just to give y'all a little look at the difference over here. We can see this is you can see McChicken for $5. That's not a US dollars, that's their dollars here, which is about it's $3.90. Like $3.90 for a meal. If you see those as sandwiches. And then of course, you know, they got the screens that you can come to and you can order off the screens. So if I start an order, say take out, and then it just brings up the menus that you pay down here, and then they get it. You know, they got some of those already in America all over, you know, these computer things that are going to everywhere. They even got Starbucks that doing the same thing here, you know, because Starbucks, they closed down a lot of them, but
I don't know if he's going to stay in Singapore, if this is a layover. He's not really specifying what he's doing there and if he's going to stay there or anything. He's just being very weird. Like, he's not expressing anything about what he's doing there or anything. Just talking this talk about being cursed, going to Africa and just being cursed overall. Man. Africa is its own beast, you know what I'm saying? So him trying to clean it up is really weird, like a flip-flopper, you know. Just stay true to what you know, what's been going on. He has a lot of information, and yet he's acting like that information is not to be taken that serious anymore. Like, no, we're going to take your information more serious, but you're not telling it. I'm pretty sure he could tell us a whole array of different circumstances with different people. I'm sure there's a number that is mind-blowing about how many people have been affected by being defrauded or getting divorced or passing away or getting sick, not able to afford this, not able to do this, having all these different circumstances come about. And now he's making light of it.
They got here these kiosks of Starbucks, taking away people's jobs. All right, so now I'm back. Okay. Somebody said they just bought something from McD's for $20. 2 meals for $20. Yeah. Does anybody have any questions from what I said? I typically don't ask from what I say, but just allow it just to, you know, bring light to you. And if it resonates, and it should be a breath of fresh air, especially in this world where you don't hear a lot of real talk into opening us up to really, you know, find the dirt in our life so that we can go ahead and move forward and clean up our act. What country are you now? I'm in Singapore. I'm in Singapore. Let's see here. Let's see what other questions we have. Any other questions? Let me turn the screen around. They got the climb wall here. You can climb the wall. How do you clean your spirit of exes? That is a very good question, Mela. Very good question. You know, I made mention of the word forgive. I know we hold on to a lot of resentment, hate, envy, jealousy that will control us and stick with us. And I know, look, I got an ex, and it took me, I'll be honest with y'all, it took me about 8 years, man, to really get her out of my spirit. And it's because I had the anger, disdain, and the frustration and all of that stuff in me that she took over. I allowed her spirit, or by that memory, that anger, it had took up time and energy from me. You see, when others go about their business and you still stuck where you are, chewing on a box.
The true meaning of babbling. He definitely is bored out of his mind right now. He just filling in now with the babble. It doesn't even make no sense from what the title is saying. Why Africa is a curse to African Americans in diaspora. And he's all over the place. Like, wait a minute. Dude, you said they don't want to admit that they were wrong about Africa. Didn't have to be here running wild. Yeah, they don't want to admit that. But the writing is on the wall. And instead of him just saying, you know what, I'm not promoting Africa no more, it's just too much to do. Just have fair warning about Africa. That's it. And I'm just going to do my travels and show y'all what I find. Nah, he want to come out like he's a prophet or a teacher. Oh, all y'all have to do is work on yourself, and then God's energy will come and save you and rescue you. The environment that you'll be in suddenly will change to something very, very angelic, like something that goes wrong suddenly will be corrected because of God and your spirit being in tune with him. And you can just change the whole surroundings that are around you, that are bound you. That's what he's trying to say. Like, really, dude? Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that. Life is more reality than that. You have to understand that on the ground, reality hits you. If people are losing their money, losing their mind, like he said, losing their life, getting sick, breaking up from marriages, being scammed, taken advantage of, overwhelmed, why are you still supporting and promoting Africa? That's the question. That's the bottom line. And he's not getting there so far. And I'm so sorry that this is the way in which he's going. Lisa D, what's up? Says Africa needs to be knocked off that pedestal. These panties put it on, meaning Pan-Africans. When they say panties, that means Pan-Africans. Pan-Africans are the ones that's promoting this go back to Africa. They're promoting to flee from Babylon. They're promoting that we belong to Africa. And they're promoting that to Black Americans, so-called African Americans. And this has been going on for quite a while on social media, which of course is the main media that's been going on, even better than TV thus far. I think this is more watched than other things lately. And this misinformation is being spread about by the likes of him and others, Pan-Africans included. And he's also a Pan-African that's claiming to not want to be a Pan-African because things got rough in Africa. So now he's coming back with, it's you. You got to change. And then the environment will suddenly change for you. That's what's going to happen, so he says. Magically, things will change for you.
because you're upset, mad, envy, jealous, whatever it might be that holds on to you. You gotta let go and say, hey, look, we're not, you know, we took it where we thought it would go. Maybe we didn't start off on the right foot, and I had to admit, for my first marriage, it was my fault. I should have never married her. It was not the Most High's request. I did it out of selfishness. And when I came to understand, I took the responsibility, all of that stuff was relieved. It was relieved of me. And so I then had my time, my mind, my peace back, because I saw that I played the main fault in that marriage, because I should have never, ever married her.
Okay, he's all over the place. Let me see. How you doing, DJT? They act like they are afraid to speak negatively about Africa. They are not afraid of bashing America, though. That's all that they are continually, consistently doing. And Lisa D says, honestly, he looks to be of the age when many men go through a midlife crisis. I think he is midlifing. Hey, that's a possibility. They don't want to admit that they were wrong about Africa. Didn't have to be here running wild, says. These deaths in the Gambia was like a punch in the stomach to this cult. They are in serious damage control now. Black Americans are questioning this leap onto the continent. Yes, they are easy acts. And I think it's a good thing that the alert is out there and that people now can be conscious about what they do before they do it, instead of going off of a prayer or just speculating that what they see on social media will apply to them. That's the catch. Some of them must know that it does not apply to them. But he's trying to clean it up in a different type of way. I must say, kind of interesting, but it falls flat because the environment is the environment, and there's nothing you can do about changing the people and the culture over there in Africa. That's just the way that it is. So I'm sick and tired of people trying to make us always the fall guy. You know, I see a man going through a midlife crisis. Yup. Africa needs to be knocked off the pedestal. These pennies put it on. Yup. Let me see. I need to go back up. Lisa D says, I hate how everyone acts like Black Americans should be the whipping boys of the world. That's what we all have been for a very long time. And it is one of the things that really bothers me that we're not upset about. One of the things that I feel like we should have some kind of pride about, feeling some kind of way and mobilizing off of the fact that we're being, totally disrespected in so many different fronts. But for some reason, people are staying in their corner, and that's just the way it's been. Happy White History Month, everyone, says Gigi Allen. Okay, if it is, I don't know. And given his opinion, okay, I read that. Those Gambian unalivings have put a cramp their back to Africa scam. Exactly. It's definitely not a blessing. It's not meant to be. It's meant to take all you got and put it in their pocket. And a lot of people is making off like bandits off of you. It's like they are treating us like we are to be taken. And that's just been the go. From the go, when it came to this go back to Africa, it's never, ever changed. It got worse. It's not going to get no better. And I don't care what anybody says. And I caught some of Sister International's little live. I was going to bring it up, but it's not even worth my time. They, again, have a mission to keep people interested in the Gambia. It is definitely an agenda, and they're definitely connected to something. She wants to let it be known she's not a witch. Okay. But you're moving awkward, I would say. If you're not a witch, you're moving very awkward. Um, I'm sure if anything ever happens that she's already put it out there that they're going to conceal. Some people feel like they don't want to let it to come out. But, you know, things still going to happen as far as leakages from people that do care about the conditions of themselves. And that's self-love, when you can care about what is happening to the people around you and you realize that it's happening kind of easy and unexpectedly. You want to put your, your understanding out there about it. So I commend those that went against the grain and let out the information about these deaths, because if it was up to the bulk of those people in the Gambia, that information would not have been available. It would not have been available. They would have played it off. And that's a tragedy, that's all they think about is preserving this Go Back to Africa, which again stems from the UK, that has started with 1900, I think, or 101, I think 1900, a London conference with this other guy. I can't remember his name right now, but he was integral in this first Pan-African conference, and I forgot his name. But secret societies such as Prince Hall and others have promoted this Go Back to Africa in this so-called African term. And it's not meant to be on us, but people are trying to put it on us because it is the agenda that has been going on for quite a while. For Black, I don't think a lot of Black Americans are aware of the cult of Pan-Africanism. It seems to be in the major cities, especially, or excuse me, usually in the North, and for a certain type of Black person. I don't know where they come from. I didn't even know they existed like they do. How about pay for my trip back to Africa? Yeah, okay. I go back to Africa when you give me reparations. I'm not going back to Africa if you did. And the Bible tells you everybody is our enemy, so you should just stay here and make your life better here. That's my opinion. I mean, running somewhere totally different culture, different all things, is going to be a way different circumstance and outcome that you would never ever expect. It's just the wild, 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 wild west. It's the wild, wild, wild west. And it's definitely a cult. You said most of our people seem to be doing their own thing, just living just like everybody else is trying to do. Like for the migrants that have come over here and have taken siege, invaded America, they're demanding to get rights that we are not even allowed for some strange reason to have anymore. It's as if we have swapped places with the immigrants in America. What's going on right now? I want to play some more of this clown, but I really wish that he would get back on the topic because it was really spinning out of control, talking about him, talking about we, and he's all over the place. Let me see. I don't think, let me see. The panties are panicking because the migrant crisis is showing Black Americans that the last place most Africans want to be is in Africa. Yes, that's what it is showing. And them ridiculing us about wanting to stay here and trying to make us guilted about us not wanting to go. It's like a total mind fuckery thing that's going on. And again, it's spinning out of control on social media. I've been exposing these Pan-Africans as best I can. And like I said, it's a globalist agenda. And we need to know that they're putting too much emphasis on what we're going to be doing when they're not even us. That's the thing. They're not even us. They're over there in the UK. They're over there somewhere else or in the Gambia, and they're trying to speak for us. And they're continually doing these interviews. I caught Black, what's her name? African superstar. She's going to be on another Go Back to Africa series. What they be doing on some of these, what do you call it, YouTube channels, where they interview the people that moved from America to Africa and how that move was such a blessed thing. You're always playing these things that are continually trying to overplay the truth of on the ground of Africa. But yeah, it's an agenda. I'm glad that we're waking up and seeing what has been going on more times than not. But I really feel that Go Black to Africa is instrumental in being sent by somebody. I think that he is ultimately doing it like a job. And also, he is changing his identity to be more of a teacher, preacher, prophet, while trying not to claim the title, but yet acting like it. Yeah, Umar is definitely a scammer. I can't stand Umar. I cannot stand Umar. He's another Pan-African that needs to be called out because he is not doing what he needs to be doing as a so-called leader. He's never completed anything that he's put out there. Only speeches. That's all he's done, y'all. Speeches. No school, just lingering, getting donations and flying here and meeting this honey and flying there and getting this rap over here. And God knows what else he's getting into. But nonetheless, supportive of his lifestyle and doing that back and forth, it's annoying. It's been annoying, and people just let him just ride the wave. It's just so amazing to me. Stole over 1 million. Who did? Umar? And you said, I love Africa. I really want to go there. Okay, good luck. Easy access, but these panties are unscrupulous, not to be trusted. Always be on guard against their shenanigans. Yeah, they're always on one. They're always on one. Let's get back to this clown.
Married her. And, sometimes owning up to your faults, like I said, will gain you the peace you're looking for. Forgiveness. Forgiveness. I mean, how do we expect anybody to do right by us if they have no compass, moral compass, like I like to say is that, no accountability to the greater creator, the most high, the I am that I am, Elohim. If you don't have that allegiance, the accountability to one greater than you, I'm telling you, why would you expect anybody to do right by you? You're welcome, Ella. You're welcome. So, that is what it is. Anybody else got any other questions? Yeah, we definitely can laugh at our past traumas, Gabriel, because we should learn from our past traumas. Our traumas, really, typically our traumas is self-inflicted. It ain't like it just came up all of a sudden out of a corner or under the bed and just said, boo. No, it is what we made it to be. Yeah. Well, I'm going to say this to you. The spaneurial and training coach. Let me say, you said You said that I did the same. I married a man who truly wasn't aligned with me. I'm going to say this, and you might not like it. A woman should align up with the man. The man should align up with the Most High. How is it?
He doesn't even know the woman's story, and he's going in talking about she needed to align up with him. What if the man was abusive? What if the man was emotionally all over the place and drove her crazy? He does not know the story to even have an opinion of this magnitude that he's going there for. Like, he really is feeling himself right here. Listen.
Think about this. How is it that a man should align up with the woman if he's the one asking her to marry her, to want to bring her into his life? You see, men, we have to understand, when we seek a wife, you got to understand, why are you seeking her? You know, I've said this before, and people, they don't get it. This was given to me in the spirit. I mean, you know, because some people don't understand. Well, why is the man the first? You know, why is the man this and that, this, blah, blah, blah. Well, first and foremost, let's just keep it real, okay? The world, women enjoy the hard labors of men in building this earth. We're the ones who do.
But you're not the ones to do any of that. So you can't even put yourself in the category of that, though. Go black to Africa. Come on. You're not building anything. You're running around in an empty airported mall, whatever the hell. And you're talking shit about what we're not doing or whatever. About your opinions that you have about spirituality, which, you know, you're not a guru, so you say, but you're trying to be. I wish you would get there. He is foolish with his gibberish. I don't think he's right. Okay, then what Indian tribe you from? You got an Indian tribe? Who you talking to? Umar Johnson is doing a raffle. He is raffling off a date with him. What? Didn't have to be here. Running Wild says, wow. Yeah, like I said, that's all he does. He goes here, does a speech, meddles with these women over here, converse with these women over there, speeching over there, traveling over there, and just doing his little whatever he can get off on, doing. That's what that man is doing. After the expense of just babbling, just like this man right here does. That's all he does. He babbles and talks and walks, talks shit, keeps moving around talking shit, have a seat talking shit, interviewing with someone else talking shit, and then trying to excuse away deaths and any other hardship that can happen in Africa and just place the blame on the victims. That's what he does, and that's what he did in this video. But it's kind of goofy because he had a whole lot of time of just gibbering and babbling throughout.
The back-breaking labor, the heavy lifting, the climbing the high skyscrapers, going underneath the seas, fighting the wars. We're the ones who go out and do the heavy work. We do the brain-dragging work. And yet we need, that's why I said it's not good for man to be alone. It didn't say a woman. You see, a woman can be fine being alone, but not a man. Not a man. It's not good for a man to be alone. And this is why out of him was brought forth a woman, and they became one. A woman is in alignment with her man if he is aligned with the
all she said is that the man was not aligned to her, and this is all the bullshit crap she gets in the chat room because he just decided to go let off on what a woman should do for a man instead of trying to have the man align to her. He is off on a tangent for real, babbling.
Because if he's inviting her in, men, what is it? Why you're wanting her to become your other half so that you can become one? That's to be your helper, to help build family, kingdom, business. Our problem is we go seek women, and what we do, I'm not gonna speak for those who are already married. Please, y'all put your fingers in your ears if you're already married. I ain't talking to y'all, because wherever which way y'all found it to work, you found it to work. I'm saying because we are living in a time, a different age today. The battle is that women are wanting their props, and I don't for wanting their props because they were guided by those who said, girl, go get your this and go achieve your this.
So the spirit couldn't lead the girl or the young woman to success, to be doing something more than mundane work and being married and staying home with a child. What is he getting at? Can't a woman or a girl have God's spirit and hand in her life, leading her, talking to her, dealing with her, just like a man does? Or she doesn't get coverage by the Spirit of God unless a man is involved? What are you trying to imply here?
Well, the problem of it is that when you go achieve that, and then a man who you dating, and he is on a different level, because you said aligning up with, you might be doing business in this area and he doing business in that area, and it may clash. You know, I told my wife this right here, and she gets it. She finally gets it. For me, okay, this ain't for everybody. This is for me. My wife has the liberty to do whatever she wants to do without worry or fretting. How is that? Because I give her that liberty. How is that? I don't rely on any of her income. I don't rely on any of her ability to take care of home. That means if she gets pissed off at her job, she can quit, because our house, our household, our kingdom is not relying on her. Right now, I gotta tell her, the day's coming when I'm gonna tell her, time for you to roll now with me, time for you to roll with me now. But I have the respect. She enjoys what she does, and she only knows America. But I'm saying I'm right now working for her to find her places.
So now he's saying that whenever he does get to a mindset of wanting to go to Africa for good, that she has to be on board with him whenever he decides to say it's time. That's how a lot of marriages are going to end, though. And he already said that people's marriages end. Like, what if she does not ever have a heart to go to Africa? And he's already putting out there that he got her on train. Like, I got her on train mode. Maybe he did. Maybe he pimped her to just say, you can work all the way up until I say you can't no more. I mean, if that's what she's going to allow him to do.
In this world, that she can still do what she enjoys, but then be alone with me. I'm in a different place than most people. We've been married. We just had our 8th year anniversary. We're not trying to have family. Kids are grown. We're in a total dispensation, a different place than most people I would talk to and give them a total different direction. Like my children. I tell my daughters, you're going to have to line up with the man, because if you don't, guess what's going to happen? He's going to get to a point where he feels, I'm talking about a man, you can't call every male a man. And every man that's listening to me, or every male that's listening to me, you should be checking yourself to see, am I walking in the Creator's wishes, or its image, the Creator's image of God that was given me? You got to know if you're walking in the image of. If you're not walking in the image of, that means then, you know what, let me get back on course and walk in the image, because that's the power.
This is how Nature Boy got people captivated in his ass. That's this type of babble. Most of these men get a whole host of women interested in this type of babble. Like I said, this is nothing new. This dude right here thinks he's something special to God, and he always have a message of this is what I got from God, and this is what I'm telling y'all to do, and all this type of garble. He's been sent. He is not fooling nobody, and all this extra shit is just nothing more than the babble that he always spews.
That means I am being used as a conduit to display here on earth the power of the Most High. That which is in heaven shall be there on earth. And I am in an ultimate responsibility to exude or to present that power to this world. That is it as a man. And a woman who I want to join in with me to go upon that journey, us as one, we now become the fullness of the Most High. People can't understand when I say that. You'll never experience
the fullness of the most crap. He's the fullness of the most crap. By the way, fair use of all video for educational research purposes under section 107, I believe. If not, I'll write it in my comment section, whatever it really falls under. Educational and also entertainment purposes. This is, I guess, ending up being kind of entertaining. If I was thinking it was kind of entertaining, it's just babbling on. I guess that's the part that's entertaining, because he's talking about a lot of different things that don't align with the topic at hand. Why is it a curse for African Americans in the diaspora pertaining to Africa? Why Africa is a curse? That is the topic that it should be, and he has spun it to be about everything else. But I think he's feeling himself, and it's just obvious.
the fullness of the Most High if you have not connected with the opposite sex. Why? Because that's the oneness. I know that they write he. But we have to understand there is a she. Now, when they say, I'm not talking that the Most High is not flesh. We do know that. But we're talking about a masculine and feminine energy. We're talking.
So now he's talking about homosexuality. Again, it sounds good. It's always good to take a crack at homosexuality and be the most superior because you're married with child. You reach the full fulfillment of what God's requirement or his suggestions in the Bible says. Congratulations. But it does not take away, again, what happens in Africa being the curse that you stated. That is for so-called African Americans in the diaspora to Africa. How are you flipping it to this? I don't know.
About even in scriptures, it calls the Most High's wisdom a she. Read it all in Proverbs. A she. Think about it. Do you really think when it said in the beginning, let us make man in our image? Who is us in our? Now, some people are going to have, it was the angels, it was Christ there in the beginning. Okay, we understand that, but we're talking about the fullness thereof. So, I hope that helps the sister. Don't look for a man that aligns with you. See how you can align with him. Because the day comes to an end when a man, when he sees that his woman may be usurp the authority that he has, and he feels as though that what has been put in him is not being put to use. So what happens? I see it all the time. So what he does, because he loves you, he takes a back seat. Matter of fact, he becomes basically complacent. He becomes more of insignificant. He'll become more of one who's behind the scenes. And then what happens then? Well, you begin to grow more and more out of your position, which now you become domineering, bossy, mouth almighty, fighting, and it becomes a wedge. And then what happens? Typically, for those women who scream their husbands cheated on them, you're going to find what? What drew him to that next woman? The woman who listened. The woman who was batting the eyes. The woman who was just there. That moment that he would feel he could be heard. That's just the truth of the matter. So, for us men, and the men that are listening, you know, we got to step back into our image. And that was the image of the Most High. And that image is powerful. And I'm telling you all, there's nothing that can stop me except for myself. When I walk in disobedience, when I'm walking into wickedness and evilness, that stops you. And when that stops you, you better sit still, because I'm telling you.
What is he talking about? Nothing can stop him. A lot of stuff can stop you. What are you talking about? Wow.
Judgment is coming. That's why I can say, I'm not trying to play around with my life any longer. I did that when I was in my 20s. I'm going to be walking in the Spirit and let that Spirit guide me and show me. And it's the most magnificent thing that I ever have experienced in my life, because that though that I can recognize, I'll be walking out here in the mall and I see some beautiful woman, and I'm gonna be real with y'all. I can turn around and look at her all right there, and the first thing is, oh, so is that what you want to play? That's what you want to lust after? You want to leave your wife? You want to go check her out? Go ahead. You want to go over and holler at her? What are you willing to lose? That's real. What are you willing to lose? Because we know there will be a loss in that. Because we know our beautiful women are not going to put up with such behaviors. So what are you willing to lose? And I know my wife. Sisters. I know there are sisters out here who think I'm single because they haven't seen my wife and they're new to the job. I'm going to tell you, I'm a very happily married man. And I'm going to put it out here for my wife that, out here, on my wife that, and I told my wife this not too long ago, because we had some conversations. And, you know, I told her, I said, you know, there's no woman who can touch you. Not one woman can do what you do for me. And I'm going to be, my wife felt a certain way. She felt like she was not attracted. I was not attracted to her. Hey, why you saying?
He's saying an awful lot. My God. Now he's talking about his wife and being not attractive. What the fuck's going on? Oh my God.
What are you talking about? Well, I had made a comment about her appearance, and she felt a certain type of way. So I'm being transparent with y'all, because my marriage has its issues, if you will, and are times that we have to talk or what have you. I'll be real with all of y'all when it comes to me. And she felt that way. And I sat there and I actually shed a tear, because I told my wife, I said, look, babe, you're saying I'm not attracted to you.
He said he shed a tear. Oh my Lord.
And as I began to talk to her, she started to say that her appeal, her look. I said, babe, I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, women talk about they want an honest man. Babe, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't marry you for looks. If I was going to go along with the world say about beauty, I'd give you a 4 or 5.
Oh my God.
If you're ready for being out.
He said a 4 or a 5. Damn. He said that to his wife.
And listen to what I'm saying? And women, listen what I'm saying, because women always talking about they looking for men with who's honest. I gotta be real. But babe, do you know what? It was your spirit that drew me. I fell in love with you with your spirit. Your heart of gold. You think I care about a look? This is why when we got married and everything, and my wife is into, because she's want to look good on the job, and she in her wardrobe and stuff. She want, and I'm like, that has nothing to do with me. I'm beyond them looks. I dress like this, I had to understand it. What's in here, and that's what drew me to my wife. And and as I said it, and I wanted her to understand, babe, there is not a woman that can touch you, that could do what you do. I don't even care about any other woman. Hands down, you are a 10. Looks fade. And I know men, my brothers that I know, they get afraid when they see their wives gain weight, wrinkle up. What was standing up now droops. And you see these young hottie toddies walking around firmed and chest all poked out, looking all good and everything, if that's what you want to call it. And yet we have the struggles because we got caught in the flesh, and now all of a sudden the exterior don't look good. And
do y'all believe that he goes and travels to all these different countries and he's never ever fallen with another woman? I don't know, but I think it's kind of suspect that he's going through all these talks about how we need to be looking at ourselves to see if we can morally check ourselves to a better version of ourselves, which, that's a good message in itself, by itself. It doesn't need to get entangled with talking about the curses of Africa onto so-called African Americans in the diaspora. Maybe he just wanted to play a quick clip of it, and he just rambled on about all these other things. But a lot of people follow him. And take him to be somebody. I just don't think that he's somebody to us, but that's my opinion. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat room. Sorry that it took me a while to get back, but I'm here. What's up, everybody? Okay, let me see. Let me go back up. You said he's a CIA plant who has probably gone rogue. That's interesting, Lisa. You said I can go read many books and pretend to be a guru, just like this guy, and I bet I can change many gullible minds. Anybody want to try me? You being funny for real. Kiwi Bueller writer. He brown tongue full shit. Okay. Africa is the last region Black American women should go. It's akin to jumping from the frying pan and into the fire. Yeah, it is. That's what I believe too, Lisa D. Peace, I think his wife came to accept he wants to travel all through Africa, and time to time she comes to visit places with him. She has books as well. Yeah, I know she catches up with him, a flight and all that, but it's just all the risk and spontaneity of what she has to do to link up with him. I think sometimes it's kind of unfair to her that he takes off so long. I think that he should be there just half the year. I think he should be home half the year if he's going to do what he does. But he more or less just is gone throughout the entire year. And I think that I don't know. I don't know if he's as loyal as he claims. I don't know. Victory says, but per usual, it's all what he wants, as with many relationships. Yeah, being a little bit greedy and self-centered. Disrespectful, got no respect for himself. Nope. He has been on gibberish for years, Miss MJ says. Gibberish for years. Yeah. No disrespect, but is this guy Hebrew, Penny? He keeps saying the Most High. I think so. I think he thinks that he is supposed to be like that one guy that went to move to Israel. I can't remember his name. My memory fades me. I see his face and everything, but he's passed. And now the Minister of Information is over there. But they've been in Israel since like the 80s or whatever. But their citizenship has been never so. They've only been there temporarily, known as resident, I guess, just a residential whatever, but they never got citizenship there, and they're being refused. But nonetheless, I think that maybe he would suggest, I don't know what he's up on yet. I just know that he's an agent. I'm wondering what way and direction he's trying to take us, but he's trying to tell us that we need to leave America. That's primarily the story. And now he's trying to clean up about Africa. So it's going to be interesting where he's going to be headed. You said, I don't agree, because a woman has her own calling. But God forbid he is behind the scenes, same old, same old. Forbid that the woman has been chosen by God to speak the gospel, and the man is not even, what do you call it? Not evenly yoked to the woman. That's what it says in the Bible, evenly yoked. And he tries to push up on her, and she's trying to like move and expand herself because she has it. She has what it takes to do what she's supposed to do to be successful. And if he can't keep up to that and gets frustrated with her, I mean, there's so many cases of people getting murdered for close to nothing. Everywhere you turn, there's a whole lot of deaths that are happening, and people's emotionalism that overtakes them. There was a guy that was actually shot. Let me see. Is that the right one? Then shoots himself in the head. Father kills 3-year-old, y'all, after a fight with mother. Then he shoots himself in the head. And this is how bad things can turn in our community when we are not thinking properly or not evenly yoked to someone. Devastating things can happen and befall us. Hold on, let me make sure I get to the very beginning of that, because this is a powerful, sad video right here.
And when I seen my sister-in-law run out the house, and I heard a pop, and I seen her run out the house, I didn't know what to do. I just didn't know what to do, right?
A tragic story we've been covering all day long. That was the brother of the Kenner man accused of killing his 3-year-old son last night before turning the gun on himself. Police say that man is still alive, and his family says he was struggling mentally after his 18-year-old son was recently shot and killed earlier this month. Amelia Strahan has that story. Emotional videos posted on social media show Melvin McClinton grieving the loss of his 18-year-old son.
My brother was crying out. He was on Facebook. He was talking. He was telling people, like, we have to change.
Posted just days before he was accused of shooting and killing his 3-year-old little boy before turning the gun on himself.
That's my baby. He joy the world, beautiful little boy.
The tragedy of a life taken too soon, and the pain from a loss that McClinton's brother Thomas Williams believes was too much for him to bear.
All the pressure you put on the helmet can only take so much.
Man, feeling overwhelmed about the loss of an 18-year-old has got to be a lot. And then how he just ended up doing what he did. Wow.
The person can only take so much.
According to police, the crime started with an argument between McClinton and the child's mother at a home in Kenner. Williams was standing outside when he heard the gunshots.
My brother was sick. My brother was going through something.
A sickness that family tells police McClinton had been battling since his oldest son was shot and killed earlier this month, which left him in an emotional spiral.
He wasn't sleeping. He was like, every time my mom would tell him lay down, he'd be like, all right, mom, all right, all right, all right. Like he wasn't himself. Like my brother is just the pressure of all this stuff.
And this is what a lot of us go through. We feel a lot of pressure and overwhelmness, anxiety, paranoia. He needed to have therapy. He probably has some traumatized situation that happened to him and he never resolved it or addressed it. He never had a diagnosis for it. Wow, but then he turned into a monster himself. It's sad.
In these events and circumstances,
Dr. Reggie Parquet is a clinical social worker specializing in community violence. He never assessed or treated Melvin McClinton, but says in some cases, trauma from losing a loved one can cause people to dissociate from reality and act out of character.
sometimes these individuals will actually detach themselves from reality. They aren't able to recognize real situations in front of them.
William says on Wednesday night, his brother wasn't being himself.
My brother, he loved his children like to death, like anything. Like my brother, like he loved his kids. My brother, he just, the things that he went through for his losing his son and trying to hold it together and everything, it was too much for him to bear.
The ripple effect of loss has now changed this family forever. In New Orleans, Amelia Strahan, WWL.
He was definitely broken and he needed to get therapy or something. He needed to get somebody to talk to. But he ended up being a monster himself and turning in on his 3-year-old because of a fight with the mother. I don't know what kind of fight that they had. I wonder what that was about. You wonder how deep did it go? What kind of fight will cause you to go ballistic and go kill your 3-year-old? That's crazy. What's up, safe brother? How you doing? The man has to feel like they are in the lead at all times. Sometimes they have to take, I don't know. Some men are not meant to lead. Some men are not leaders. I don't know. But that's not what I'm into anyway, so I don't know. Lisa D, these men need to build up other men and stop focusing on correcting what they feel is wrong with women, sign of a weak man. Yeah, because if you're so interested in me and I'm not even your woman, I'm not even your family, why are you all worried and wondering about someone that you can't control or have access to? It's kind of pointless. So they're using it as an excuse to be able to do what they're doing, which is nothing, and just poking fingers at us. You know, what is the image? The creator is not a man that he should lie. Didn't have to be here. Running Wild says, okay. Easy Access, is he conflating his religion with the cult of pantheism? Something like that. It's weird, right? I wonder what his most highest thinks about this. Most gods don't want to be compared to other cults or gods. He is, what do you call it, thrifty, combining just different theologies to match what his goal and mission is, which is to try to get as many people onto this Go Back to Africa routine without being boldly, well, he is being kind of bold, but in a roundabout way, he's trying to justify what happens over there in Africa through putting, the light in our face about what we're doing and what we need to do. But most of us are not interested in Africa. That's the thing. Most of us are not interested at all in Africa. So for him to make it seem like we are messing up over there, the ones that are going over there are having bad outcomes, though. I mean, that seems to be the truth. That is the curse, that you're going to fail and keep failing. And nobody's going to save you. No one cares. They're going to continually show you how much they don't care. And if you continually go under those conditions, don't be surprised and shocked when you get fucked over. Somehow, some way it's coming. Like a wave. Don't you doubt it. But that is the truth. And he's just trying to like wiggle around it. It's really weird. It's like the weirdest thing that I've seen in a while. I'm sorry to put y'all through that. You said this guy has real serious personal problems. He got something going on. Victory Music, because he is running around Africa for years and not living in the United States, and that's all he cares about. Oh my God, one tear. I was like, one tear because your wife said that she didn't feel wanted, she didn't feel desired. He seems very controlling and wants the last word in every discourse. Yeah, he does. And it's not going to work. Nobody wants to hear that from their spouse, Safe Brother says. You know, I was kind of cold-blooded to say you 4 or 5. Victory Music says his wife is pretty and articulate and smart. I am shocked at what he just said. She looked all right. She was really kind of on the frail side of me. She was really, really thin from what I remember. Is she really thin, or is that a misstatement? Victory Music. Let me know. He seems very controlling once. Okay, I said that. Good grief, is he serious? DJ T says. Easy X, yes, he's saying too goddamn much. Is an empty airport terminal. He's revealing all his skeleton secrets in an empty airport terminal. Oops, marriage is over. He's saying an awful lot. But I know love takes courage and determination. I adopted a child, and I felt like I had belonging. Or was I adopted as a child? I don't know what you meant. I was chosen before I was born. Okay, I guess you were adopted as a child. Yeah, I mean, if it ended to be a blessing, then yeah, you were chosen and God loved you, and, you know, things were much better. Praise, you know, to your adoptee, to your mom and dad. Safe Brother says he needs to see a doctor if he can actually see spirits, unless those spirits are Smirnoff. Victory Music says if he did not care, he would not have said anything about it and given her a number so that cap, as the youth say. Okay. Safe Brother says, I never see this guy ever with his wife. He comes off as Phil Scott hiding his wife from the public because he don't want the public knowing the truth, just like a hypocrite Phil Scott. Yeah, Phil Scott can't show his wife because she is Mexican, and him speaking this pro-black, you know, get a black family and you ain't got one, is kind of hard to pass. So I see why he has his wife hidden, because she's not a black woman, and he is constantly talking about Africa, traveling to Africa, being with your people, spending money with your people, but you had a Mexican wife with her and kids and stuff like that. So it's a hypocrite. We all know it. You know, he started doing that hustle, and now he's taken off. But it's a hustle nonetheless. Hello from St. Louis. Thank you, DJ T. Thank you for coming through. I really appreciate that. Elma says he feels if he has video calls every night to his wife, who is 1,000% of 1,000 miles away from months to years, that's enough. Apparently so. I'm pretty sure he gives her about an hour and a half, a conversation a night, something like that. Didn't have to be here running wild says he's not reading books. He's taking talking points from these ADC camps are. Oh, I don't know who that is. Hey, what's up, Edek? I went on Brandon's live last night and told him he's a defeatist and that he's not African. And, you know, he and one moderator in particular by the name of Nafari didn't like it one bit. He didn't like it. What platform were you on? Did you go on his platform? Okay, you went on his platform. I got to see that. That's funny. Talking points from the ABC camp, not from reading books. Okay, ABC. Okay, thank you for that. Do you anyone in the chat remember when Whitney Houston and her husband Bobby Brown went to Israel on a tour as a cure for their drug addiction? Dateline made a whole special about it online or on NBC. I vaguely remember that kind of. Hey, Edek, I remember when Bobby and Whitney went to Israel, they was confused as hell. Peace, I think your channel is necessary because I feel bad hearing the stories of women who try to live in Africa. One day, they're so great. Next, they are having problems, no real peace. Yeah, unfortunately, that is what's going on. And you cannot deny the facts that are right in front of your face. But people, again, have agendas that are over my head and over, you know, what I would like, over the whole understanding that, you know, we are in America and we are Americans and we feel like we need to pay attention to what's happening here right now and against us with this migration issue. I mean, it's getting out of control. Do you guys know how out of control the migration issue is? It's really getting bad. I'm going to talk about it on my next live a little bit. And there's a drug epidemic that's happening with fentanyl. It's really becoming a big issue in a lot of different cities. That's another topic that I want to bring out. If you guys could, please like the video. Please share the video. Subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate you. I really appreciate that. Honestly, most of our fellow Black... Oh, hold on. Let me go back up. Oh, hold on. Let me see. Honestly, most of our fellow Black Americans are perplexed that we have to self-identify as African American on paperwork. No, I put down Black American. I have never used African American, Lisa D. I see middle-aged simp in the middle of midlife crisis, something. Phil Scott always talking about Black American women. Every chance he gets, isn't that right, Miss D? But you got to think about what type of wife does Phil have to have a hypocrite as a husband, or maybe she's like his D. She's Mexican. She's not loyal to the cause of Black people. She's not to the cause of Black people. So she's to the cause of herself and her family, which is them. You know, it's all about them. Also, there is a story, y'all, that is so, so sad. Let me show y'all this. Let me show y'all this.
Whether he was playing charades with family and friends, Dan was being silly, Cornelius Jones was always the life of the party.
He was all about family, you know, just loving one another and lifting one another up.
Cornelius Jones, affectionately known as Corn, had a gathering at his apartment in Pontiac. During the gathering, Jones saw a 22-year-old man who was visiting with others spit in his kitchen sink. Jones, known for his pride in keeping his place clean, found this disrespectful and asked the man to leave. What transpired next was beyond comprehension. Witnesses reported that instead of leaving like a reasonable person, this guy got agitated, pulled out a gun, and shot Corn multiple times before he and another man fled the scene. Thanks for watching. Like, share, comment, and subscribe.
That's how ratchet and ghetto and demonic a lot of us can be. I mean, how dare the dude go to someone else's house and just spit in the sink in front of people, well, a whole home full of people, and you just go do that. And he should have just asked him, you know, do you mind not doing that anymore or something like that. I guess telling him to leave, the guy felt disrespected. But that's just that's awful. That's awful. You said, does Phil Scott wife wear kente cloth? No, I doubt it. You said, I saw this story. That's my state, Pontiac, Michigan. It happened there? Wow. Right? You think his wife moving to African country? Yeah, right. No, she's not trying to go anywhere. Anywhere. So all this talk about us going there, we got all the fraudulent people that's not trying to go. And they always got a good, cute story as to why they ain't got to go. But they're telling us that we need to go. Isn't that interesting? So I thought that story was pretty sad, though. The guy had it going on. I'm trying to find another news clip about him. And for some strange reason, I can't find that video. I don't know. My phone just like sometimes does some trippy thing. I wanted to tell more about his story. Let me see. Man spit and sink. Let me put that down. Man spit and sink. And this happened in America. This is truly ridiculous, though. A father of 3, y'all. Father of 3. This is really sad. And it could have been avoided if the guy would have been respectful. Like the guy that did the spitting is the one that should be blamed for everything, but it escalated.
Overnight, people began flooding the Facebook page of a Pontiac man with their grief and astonishment over his tragic death. Thank you for joining us. I'm Glenda Lewis. The shooting reported on Carriage Circle last night around 9:30. Even Sheriff Michael Bouchard calling the motive for the murder of Cornelius Jones unfathomable. 7 Action News reporter Kimberly Craig speaking with family and friends of the man everyone simply knew as Corn.
Cornelius Jones was known to so many people simply as Corn, a man who was friendly and humble, even the sheriff calling the motive for his murder absurdly trivial. Whether he was playing charades with family and friends, dancing, or just being silly, Cornelius Jones was always the life of the party. But around 9:30 Wednesday night, Jones was shot and killed in his 4th-floor Carriage Place apartment in Pontiac, a stunning and unspeakable loss for his family.
He was all about family, just loving one another and lifting one another up and making each other laugh. That's all he was about.
Jones was murdered around 9:30 Wednesday night by a 22-year-old acquaintance who was visiting with several others. Witnesses tell investigators the man spit in Jones's kitchen sink, so Jones told him that was disrespectful and to leave. But instead of just walking out, the man became agitated and opened fire on Jones, shooting him multiple times and then running away.
I'm still trying to wrap my mind around the whole situation on how or even why it happened.
I'm a strong believer of God, and I do believe that God chose him to come home. Whatever situation or scenario he used to bring my brother home, that's what he chose to use.
Using a drone and tracking dogs, Oakland County Sheriff deputies were able to locate and arrest the suspected shooter and another man described as an accomplice.
At the end of the day, God.
So their lives are destroyed for feeling insulted. Like their ego got too big and you go and shoot somebody in front of a whole home full of people. A whole full of people. Right in front of everybody. Man. And now you caught. Your life is done. Now you're caught.
As the last word in Cornelius Jones, he will have justice.
Jones leaving behind 3 children. His family says he didn't have life insurance, so they've started a GoFundMe for help with burial expenses for the man who made a lasting
That's one thing that needs to change. I think that most of these black men should be getting life insurance in case, especially if they have kids. But that's what most of us do. We do not have insurance, and so we're wide open for anything to happen to us, and it's unfortunate that is the situation. Wow. If you have a child, you should really consider life insurance for your child?
Back on so many.
Very humble, very giving, friendly, accepted all. He didn't have much, but what he did have, he gave. He gave willingly. He gave sparingly. He gave graciously.
I don't think he gave his life willingly. I think that it was snuffed out. I don't know what she's talking about, but I guess she needs to make it feel better to her. Is that what you think it might be, Easy X? She said, I disagree with what his sister just said, but rest in peace to her brother. Yeah, rest in peace to him. I don't think he desired to have himself killed, but I don't know how I would have responded if I would have seen somebody just spit in my sink right in front of my face. Like, come on. Wow. Lisa D says, Phil Scott trying to get us to go over there and eat jollof rice while he stays in America and eats his wife's enchiladas. Make that make sense. Phil Scott is typical do as I say and not as I do type. Exactly. But he does go over there for the touring part because he's now have something that he does in South Africa. And then he did something in Kenya before. And I'm sure he'll go back again because he gets a flat rate of something, you know what I mean? A deal. He done struck behind the scenes with somebody to promote every show. This go to South Africa, and then when he goes to Kenya, go to Kenya. So he's making a killing off of touring, but he's not going to stay. He's making a killing off of telling us to go, but he don't have to go. And that's just how, you know, our community is full of these types that just keeps, you know, circulating their bullshit of contradiction and trying to get us to do what they want us to do. They're like the herders, trying to be like the herders, trying to herd us into whatever they desire. Trust and believe he's being supported by some different type of affiliates, sponsorships. He's definitely have a lot of other things going on behind the scenes than we could ever know. He has over 1 million subscriptions. I mean, what do you expect? Right, he goes over there because he's making money off of Fool's Dummies. Exactly, didn't have to be here running wild. What are you doing? Talking to you, Lucy. I disagree. Okay, I read that. Phil Scott is trying to, I read that. Ratchet behavior is so rampant in some parts of our community. Wish we could love and respect each other more. Let's make that effort and try and let our emotions control our behavior. Easier said than done, but we can't control people. And most people are choosing to live this ratchet existence for whatever reason. I think different influences of ratchetness is making it easier. But I think some of us are starting to get fed up. I think most of us realize that this is not going anywhere good. And I don't think that it's as popular as it used to be. But I could be wrong because I'm not paying attention to today's music like that. I really up on old school stuff. So if y'all can let me know if the music is supposedly popping just like any other time, let me know, because I don't believe it is. I don't believe it is. I've been numb to these things. Askerton says. So I wonder that myself, say brother says. Everybody sponges off of Black Americans for their come up. That's a whole lot right there. So let me see if I had any more to play for this video. Oh, it was almost over anyways. The father of 3 killed after he told another man to leave his house because he spit in the sink, y'all. It's like all these black men are just going out one by one by one by the hands of another black man. It's so easy to do over anything. And I think it's because of oh man, just the pressure of a lot of stuff, but then the stupidity of just being brazenly disrespectful too. The culture of being brazenly disrespectful is so abundant right now all over the place, where people can just do whatever and then kill you for it. Like, dare you to say anything about what they done did. Like, that was a dare. I dare you to say something on what I just did. And the guy was like, you gotta leave. Like, I would have been like, all right, I'm sorry. Let me just go on out your house. And I would have been cool. But I would never have done that. I would never have done that. This nutcase is in Singapore to go to Taylor's Era tour. He ain't fooling nobody. It's the secret white people he chasing. Yeah, so the word would never get out. I don't know if I trust his whole storyline that he ain't doing nothing but waiting on his wife every 3-4 months. I don't know. Let me play the rest of what he's talking about. He's all in his marriage talking about it. I had to give y'all a break because it was too much for me too. It was way too much. It's almost over though. If you guys have not yet, please like the video, share the video, subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. I appreciate everybody for coming through. I know I have a lot of cloud watchers, and I appreciate that. Thanks for watching.
And yet we have the struggles because we got caught in the flesh, and now all of a sudden the exterior don't look good, and what we go through is a flesh desire of an outer appearance that jacks up and curses us in our marriage, and now all of a sudden we fall. No. I told my wife, I am not in love with your looks. It is your heart.
I'm not in love with your looks. So he don't think that this is going to be more embarrassing to his wife. He says she's hypersensitive to her looks as it is. So he goes and does this on a live. And I'm sure she's probably going to get wind of it. So what is he doing?
Spirit, your kindness, I'm in love with. And ain't no woman can get with you on that one. My wife, who understands my role and her role, that's a hard woman to find. That's a hard woman to find. Please, and that's keeping it real, And I want to be real, and that's the only way we can have a transparent relationship and stop cursing ourselves and believing that, all of this exterior stuff means something. Not for me.
Great, Go Black to Africa. Now he's just the most righteous guy ever. He's the most righteous man that's walking around. He has perfect spirit. Let him tell it. I have a perfect aligned spirit with the Lord. I have gotten with the Lord and I have risen. And I am he that has come to lead my people to the promised land, whether you are ready for me or not. I have the remedy for what is wrong with going to Africa as a curse. You just need to get into the spirit of the Lord and let it lead you, and things will change because the Lord has led the environment in which you shall go, and things will work out just because. That is what you need to do, my people.
Like I said, I have eyes and I see. And when I see these young things running around here, and they have them little mini skirts on, and they be having their cleavage all showing out and stuff right there, because I had walked through that as a young man, I'm thankful. It was my testing ground. I'm not moved by that anymore. I'm not moved by that, because what is it a 15-minute thrill going to do? What? Now you're looking at a person who's like, what the heck am I here for? Like what? What? I gotta hear your mouth or something, or what? Your demands, or now all of a sudden I gotta. No, I put.
Sounds like he's been through it already. Sounds like he's been through that patch. No, how long ago have you been on this journey of no? I don't know, man. Now he's giving me a vibe that he's confessing like he was on that level, and now he done changed up, switched up, and now he's back on the right and arrow road. I'm on the right side of the lane now. I'm moving in God's grace and peace and love and triloquy.
Much work in my wife. Too much work in my wife. My wife don't like that when I say it. No, I trained my wife. I did. I said, but you trained me too.
He trained his wife, huh?
I trained you how I am as a man. And you get it and understand it. That's what we need to do. Not only in our relationship, but with ourselves. We must be real and transparent with ourselves. That's what this whole talk is about. Because we can, it's so funny. These people always talk about, oh God, and Yeshua, and Yahweh, and all this stuff right here. Lie and cheat, like it can't see you. Like it doesn't know your heart. Like it can go run around here and talk all that fake mess, but it's just about as evil and corrupt within inside, and act like that you're getting away with something. It is what it is, y'all. I'm just going to keep it real. I'm keeping it real because you know what? I am enjoying my best life, my best marriage.
He's saying they both trained each other. Hey, if that's true, I don't know. I thought he was a scam Africanist. What the hell he's doing in South Asia. He feels like he burnt out from Africa. The last couple of videos he was on, he was talking about how Africa is not the place that you need to be at, and that other places are just as good, if not better, in Asia. And now he's trying to flip the script and say, it's your spirit. You're out of morality. You're out of sync with God. And here's my story about my wife and how I really feel about how she looks, but her spirit is above all. So I love her, and she's what I'm going to stay loyal to. And I am a God-fearing man, and God has led me to tell you all these things that come to mind. Listen to me. I am the teacher, prophet, guru that I want to be to you, but I am not going to claim the title. I'm going to act like the title. I'm going to perform the title. He's been sent, man.
I'm enjoying my best relationships with those associates and those friends. I'm enjoying. I know how to discern and put away and don't be part of. I know when I see things that I have experienced years ago and I'm like, I don't need to be part of that. No, I know that's draining. I know it sucks me dry. I know it does me no good. I remove myself from it. I ain't got no time for it. I used to be part of that. I'm a grown man now. I don't have time for that. I have been tired of getting beat down, trotted over, cursing my own self, my own future by the stupidity of the flesh. Well, family, it's been an hour. I hope your day is as blessed as mine is. And I hope that you can just go in your bathroom, pull down your car sun visor, slide open the mirror, and look yourself and have a serious conversation.
Oh, boy.
Look yourself in the eye and just find all the dirt in you and say, you got to change. You need to change. Because if I'm expecting excellence in all I do or the person I'm trying to connect with, I got to be ready. I got to be ready for it. I got to be developed. I must be. How can you want to expect the excellent position, the excellent relationship, the woman or man? You want the excellent children. You want the excellent treatment. You want the excellent business. And you yourself is only average or unsatisfactory. How does that happen?
But that's your wife, though. She's average. You just told us that she was a 4 or a 5. So what are you talking about? Anyways, he just wants something to babble about. And it's almost over. I don't even know if y'all want to hear the rest of it. But he knows he's average as well. see anything in particular that's good about him. LeBron or MJ? MJ, of course. Good morning, Pinky. How are you doing? Thank you for coming through. Look at the plank in your eye before criticizing. Yeah. I never saw his wife. That's interesting. After he told us to go to Africa, he comes off as I'm better than all of you. He's preaching like he's a pastor. Yeah, he knows he's in a pretty good position, but I think it's more than just that. I think that he has been set up to do this as some type of mission, a specialized mission from the CIA or the FBI. He is too slippery, but yet not really. I don't know. He's not believable all the way to me, but he does get a lot of people believing in him. And he's getting bolder and bolder, speaking about God and his spirit. And he's supposedly got the message from God. He really is pouring on this Hebrew Israelite routine, which I'm sick and tired of the Hebrew Israelite situation because they're always talking about going somewhere. It's a whole host of people that are speaking about us as a whole, and it's really terrifying. If you ask me, it's a bit terrifying. Nothing about it is good. And so when you have people that's speaking about what you need to go do, where you need to be, who you're going to be, that's a little bit terrifying. And it's happening readily all the time, everywhere we go, including this man right here. He has the answer for everything going on wrong. And it's annoying. Okay. I know the average. He's average. Marcus talk a lot about training their wives or their women. He comes off, I'm better than all. While trained. I thought he was a scammer. Okay. Jesus was in essence Ebionite, Nazarene, vegetarian research. Jesus was a vegan when he let the doves go and demanded no one to eat meat in ancient scrolls. Before Pope changed it, research it. I don't know about that. Well, that's a lot. That dude is lying. He's so red-blooded as I am or any other man. I know that's right. He is coming off as a narcissistic. I'm getting those vibes. Been around narcs all my life. I know the signs. Marcus often have marriage arrangements like his. Wow, who's Marcus? I thought he was a soup. Okay. I know I missed one or two. One's going up. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyways, I guess I should let the last couple of minutes play, but he did not talk about Africa too much. It was really an awkward live, and it was filled with innuendos about who is at fault with referencing people going to Africa. He's saying people are cursed when they go to Africa. They're losing money. They're losing their mind. They're not staying married anymore. They're getting divorced. They're unaliving. They're getting sick. They're missing out on money from being scammed, being defrauded. These stories I hear all the time. So he knows. And instead of him speaking about this is probably not the best thing for you to fancy yourself on, he's saying it's you. You got to change your whole spirit realm of being and get this super innate power about you that is going to eminently allow or dispel anything from allowing around your surroundings, because you're so in tune with God and you're so at. He's trying to speak as if he's one of those teachers or prophetesses or prophets or whatever. Another one. I mean, if it ain't Nature Boy, if it ain't Jim Jones, if it ain't Dr. Ericana, then it's got to be this clown. And who else? Who else? Who else? Alfredamas trying to act like he is trying to be y'all Moses. It's so ridiculous how so many of y'all come at us with the bullshit. All of y'all. All of y'all, Pan-Africans and Africans from the West Africa, Gambia, all of y'all got too much focus onto Black Americans. It is kind of terrifying. I wish that Africa would somehow do something different among themselves. That would be grand of them to take the leap. But because it's globalized, I realize it's not going to happen. It's globalized. That's what it is. Africa is globalized and it is lawless. And it's culturally in tune with its rugged environment. And I can't change nothing that is going on anywhere. So I must survive where I am. They're talking about making a Black nation in America. Who is? Highland, going to Africa can't be good if people are getting divorced, unalived, robbed, scammed, etc. That's what I'm talking about. But he can't say that because he knows he will get a lot of backlash because his whole platform was built on going to Africa. And suddenly now he's trying to shift and make it seem as though, you know, yeah, things are bad in Africa, but if you were able to flow with it better, it wouldn't be as bad. Like, come on. That's not the answer. Going to Africa is climatic. I have been studying these panties and the cult of Pan-Africanism. I compare it to a porn fetish. Really take a look at it, and it parallels the porn industry and people lust for nocturnal pleasures. What? Okay, Easy X. That was very interesting. Pinky Well said this man probably is hitting his wife. He doesn't like Black women. Got into an argument with a new shoes of his daughters and started talking about Black women getting beat. I don't know. They just feel some kind of way if they're not in total ultimate control of the situation. Some of these men are so insecure. I don't know. It's awkward. The panties in Hebrew Israelites comes off as a cult like to me. Yeah, they do. They all, religion, all of it is. Making money on this channel. First year, he made 109,000 K. Sad part, Cardi low-key talking notes from the dubious. Marcus talk a lot about training their wives. I want already up. Anyways, I really just hope that we don't let the likes of Go Black to Africa be our Moses, our prophet, our teacher. Again, he's got to be sent from somewhere. And his inconsistencies about speaking on Africa is obvious. He is running out of solutions to make it look as good as he used to make it look talking about Africa. He's running out of options. So now he's just stirring the pot and causing all this extra. So let me see. Thank you all for coming through. I think that's all I wanted to talk about. If you could, please like and share the video. I would really appreciate that. I appreciate everybody that now is subscribed to my channel. It's been a long time coming, and I really appreciate that. What's going on is the live is ending. Unfortunately, all these fringe groups, we've been talking about Pan-Africanism. We've been talking about Go Black to Africa. We've been talking about his stories of Babylon and everybody else's expectations of what Pan-Africanism is trying to do to us with this Go Back to Africa, which Go Black to Africa says Africa is cursed for African Americans and the diaspora. A lot of doomsday scenarios are happening, which he cannot refute. And instead of him just saying, I wouldn't recommend a lot of different types of people going to Africa right now, something to that effect. He can't say that because that would really get a lot of people upset that is in the business of keeping us going to Africa. And so he had to twist it to mean to be about spirituality. I guess that's a good escape, to go to the Bible and talk about spirituality and talk about your morality and talk about you sinning. You out here having sex. You a sinner. You know, somebody doing that. So that's going to really get somebody going, because you already know somebody is doing that type of activity. So you're going to zing somebody. Got to step away from the lie, but I have a music request, please. What is the music request? Because I'm going to end it with that. This is why we value your platform and voice your counter this Back to Africa nonsense. I have to, because it's getting carried away. And I don't have a problem with those that really want to go. I just hope that they know what they're jumping into. I hope that they know that they're not going to be protected like it appears, or that they try to make it sound. It's very interesting how people have come together, though, very quick to talk about how safe it is, but they could not come together for Anja. They cannot come together for any other deaths. They came together really late on a lot of stuff, and they continue to be late over there in the Gambia. And Go Black to Africa is always late. He got all this expertise as far as being security and used to be military and all that. For him not to talk about safety precautions, he says he knew. He could have said, and he chose not to say. Why? Because he doesn't want to alert us about the dangers of what's really going on. So people just stay in their little corner, cubbyhole, and have us do what we're going to do. Because it benefits everybody, for all of us to continually do. And that's the truth. So, what's your song that you want to hear? Black American country music star Willie Jones. Oh, come on, not country music. Why are you doing this to me? You don't have no old school easy ass. I don't want to play no country music. Come on, man. Give me something else. You tripping. Give me something else, man. I know they're going to do that. Yeah, yes. Saying Africa is safe is like saying drinking bleach is safe. Gaslighting. Facts. Wait a few months and everybody will find a reason to blame those women for their own deaths. That's what they're going to end up doing. Sam Cooke and change is going to come. Okay, I could play that for now. Easy Axe, I need you to come with a better song, because I don't really support country music like that. I'd rather you play old school or something like that, that keeps in line with how I do my channel for the most part. So if you can think of another song, that would be great. Change gon' come. Uh-oh. This is acting up. Is Black American free? Well, how old is that song? How old is that song? You said it's a country song. I gotta take my dog out though pretty soon, so I can only actually play a song, unfortunately. And I was trying to let Easy X think of another song, but he hasn't come back. Please, Willie Jones. Oh God, is it a country song? American Dream. Gonna look for that song. I might get copy strike. I probably can't play him because it's gonna probably copyright strike my video. I don't think I can play that. Unfortunately, I can't take that chance playing that. Thank you for being a new sub. I really appreciate you. I try to like work out with y'all, but I'm gonna play. I'll be around. I know I played that song before. I know I can get away with playing I'll Be Around because I played that one time before. By the Spinners, I could do that. Okay, hold on.
There's nowhere to go. Oh no, you make a choice. Now it's up to me to bow out gracefully. Oh, you hold the key, but baby, whenever you call me, I'll be there. Whenever you want me, I'll be there. Whenever you need me, I'll be there. I'll be around. I knew just what to say. Now I found out today that all the words had slipped away. But I know there's always a chance. Tiny spark will remain. And sparks turn into flames. And love can burn once again. But I know, whenever you call me, I'll be there. Whenever you want me, I'll be there. Whenever you need me, I'll be there. I'll be around. I'll be there. I'll never leave you alone.